Some reaction. CEO of SA Harvest, Alan Browde, joins us for more expanding on this. A very good evening to you, Alan. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you have made some sort of impact or effort to tackle malnutrition in South Africa because, as we know, according to UNICEF, 23% of South African children live in severe food poverty, hunger, malnutrition at the forefront, and a daily reality for many. What does this type of scenario reflect?
Well, from our point of view, and thank you for having me on the show, from our point of view, this reflects a lack of intervention by the government. And this has gone on for many, many years. The fact that 27% of our children, and we heard it earlier, suffer from severe malnutrition, stunting, wasting, and often irrevocable cognitive impairment. The fact that this happens in a country which has food. We're not at war, we don't have famine, we have a surplus of food. And the fact that so many of our children suffer this fate is really a crime against humanity as far as I'm concerned. And we at SA Harvest, we're a food rescue organization which rescues food that would have gone to waste, and we deliver it to organizations that feed hungry people on a daily basis. We understand that this need not happen. We could make changes, and the government, if they got involved in a proper way and not just words, could make very quick changes and at a deep level.
Do you think it's a matter of distribution or perhaps intervention to ensure that the model works, that the surplus of food is accessed and distributed accordingly?
Well, the fundamental problem in our country is that food is too expensive. Most of our people cannot afford to access nutritious food. And the root cause of that really is a lack of government intervention. Because when the ANC came into power, for various reasons, they extricated themselves from any involvement in the food ecosystem. They let the market rule completely. Now, in a country like ours, in a developing country, when you let the food market, the food ecosystem alone, you don't intervene in any way, in the economics of it, the powerful get more powerful and the weaker get weaker. And we saw just before I came on the pictures of poor farmers, small farmers, who were obliterated by the phenomenon of our retailers getting more and more powerful. Now, the retailers are in business. They're interested in profit, and one can't blame them for that. That's the system. But one has to control that. One has to have price controls and other measures that ensure that the small farmer is empowered and that people are able to buy food that is affordable and nutritious food. You know, the theme of World Food Day is the right to the right food. And the first right is obviously a constitutional thing. And in South Africa, our constitution is very strong on that. Sections 27 and 28 express the fact that South Africans have the right to enough food, all South Africans, and that all South African children have the right to adequate nutritious food, nutrition. And that's not happening at all. So the government hasn't fulfilled its obligations of Section 27 and 28, and by doing so, they will enable people to eat and not be hungry, and also to not bear the brunt of malnutrition and the related diseases.
Yeah, we heard Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen speaking today, and he says that ensuring that South Africans have food on the table, that would need collaboration. Government and the private sector need to work together. I mean, how attainable is that? You speak about the ecosystem and some of the loopholes within it.
Yeah, it's very attainable, and I must say to you that Minister Steenhuisen has to be commended for breaking open this information that has really been a sort of secretive affair in South Africa's history. And he's broken it open. He's shown that 63% of our households suffer from severe food vulnerability. And this hasn't been spoken about. And yes, you're right, collaboration is required. We in the civil society space and in the NGO space, we do whatever we can. I mean, SA Harvest, my NGO, has in 5 years delivered just short of 80 million meals. It's really something that we're proud of, but we need so much more. And the collaboration is right, but the government has to lead it in action, not in words. And I would appeal now to the Minister of Agriculture, who's done so well to translate the words and the reports and the data and information into action. And there are actions they can take now that would make a huge difference very quickly in our country to end hunger.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. We are going to have to leave it there. CEO of SA Harvest, Alan Browde, there joining us and expanding as we reflect on food insecurity in the country, its impact and, of course, affecting the most vulnerable.